Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Good. Do you want this recorded or not? I just go to automatic recording.
Oh, no, that's fine with me. So I
Okay.
can I can go back and replay it and just kind of learn some things.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. So, how was your trip?
It was nice. God, it was so nice to get away and I'm telling everybody it was kind of like getting my batteries recharged. And then of course Sunday comes along and I have to do what? I have to come home. So but
Hmm?
it was nice to get away. And then I'm just trying to juggle everything right now, which is just getting kind of crazy. So crazy schedule and all these things and dealing with all this pain. I'm tired of it. So
Hmm.
that's
I
why I'm speaking to
totally,
you. Give me some insight.
yeah. All right. First, let's just do a quick connect to our heart so we're coming from the right place, okay?
Okay, sure.
All right. So, you can be eyes open, eyes closed, whatever, and just
Okay.
bring your awareness to your heart. If you want, you can just gently put your hand there or not, doesn't matter, and just breathe in and out from your heart space. Allow your breath to deepen and to even out. As you breathe, just imagine your breath coming into your heart. So every inhalation, you're just drawing this focus and awareness to the heart. And as you exhale, just allowing your breath to flow out from the heart. And just bring regenerative feeling like gratitude, care as you breathe. And allow that feeling to fill your heart, expand your heart space. If you want, you can put a little smile on your face. And let's set our intention to be clarity, understanding, and finding the best starting point, path, right here, right now, in your healing journey. Whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like relief, feels like contentment and comfort. And may our words are exchanged today be exactly as it should be. And so it is. And gently open your eyes. So, um, I totally empathize with what you're going through with the pain because I know I can't imagine the intensity of it because I went through, trying to think, maybe 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, extreme lower back pain, where I got the injections and all that, had to take time off of work. And so having fusions and spinal cord implant and multiple, traumas, um, I I feel that. And right now in this moment, 1 to 10, what would you say the severity of what you're experiencing is?
My my lower back is like about an 8 right now. And like me sitting here, I I feel like I have to keep on fighting to hold my head up.
Okay.
'Cause my head hurts just because you don't realize your head weighs over 10 pounds and trying to hold it up and surgeons want to go back in there and do some. uh, more surgeries. I'm like, you got to stay out of my spine.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've been in there so many times. I've probably had over, including epidurals and blockers and ablations, probably over 100 and something. I've been leaking spinal fluid and so ablations where they burn the nerves on this side, that side, lower back, this side. But I can't seem to, like, when I get in the morning, I'm bending over, and I have to give it time before I'm able to just to
Right.
get my body straight. And I'm always focused on doing this to keep my posture because now my head wants to, so that's why therapy is kind of holding me back like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just I'm miserable. And I mean, I started
Yep.
going to see a counselor about 2 months ago. My daughter said, you need to go because, my doctors all say that you have PTSD for break your neck one time, break it a second time, car wreck here, surgery, all this stuff. And she was like, you're too busy, Rich. You're a giver and you don't ever say no to anybody. And I'm and we were talking. She goes, "How do you keep all this recall?" I said, "I have a day planner." And I would be lost without it. So,
Mm-hmm.
but and I got to tell you something interesting that the last 2 nights I've been really focusing on. I've had tinnitus ever since I broke my neck the first time in my right ear. And it's been loud, but it's kind of mellowed out over time. And since I've had this wreck almost a month ago, it's very loud. And I thought, how could I put this ring into good use? And I was thinking, all the resonant frequencies and attenuation for all the different frequencies for to get your mind at peace, everything. And I was like, quit thinking, Rich, because at nighttime my mind just gets bombarded with thoughts and just how I'm going to
Same here. Yeah.
tackle everything. So I was like, just close your eyes, and I do the deep cleansing breaths at nighttime. I hold it for 6 seconds, and I do the breathing, and I was just focus on the ring and just focus on it and see if you can go to sleep by it. And I believe I don't think it's psychosomatic. I think that it's helping me some. And because I'm thinking, how can you take a bad thing and make it a good thing, or
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
just
Lemons to
it, it
lemonade.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how I felt because I'm just like I think I'm past the point now of reminiscent of like, oh, I used to go out there and jump on my bike and go ride 35, 40 miles, and I could exercise a lot and everything, and I do everything every day to maintain my body, keep it at a steady weight and everything, and I eat very, very clean, because I'm 66 and I'm seeing friends that look like they're 86.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to. I'm thinking there's so much more. I was speaking to my friend Kelly in Wilmington is saying that I really want to learn more about every day. I make sure I go outside. I make sure I take my shoes off and I walk in the grass. I do my grounding. I haven't been to the beach, which I can't believe I haven't, but I want to. But shoot me, there's so many things that I just don't know about being present and understanding more about that. So that's kind of where I'm at because I'm young enough to still learn what they say. You can teach an old dog a new trick if they're willing. So I'm willing.
Good. Yeah. No, you know what? I believe that's here. And yesterday I was listening to a woman talking and she goes, life isn't about the answers, it's about the questions along the way. It's not about always getting the answers, but how do we navigate our life? How do we show up each day? And you're showing up with enthusiasm for life. You have this pain that wants to put the brakes on, but you're not going to let that happen. And I think that's the right mental attitude. But I understand how debilitating it can be when you just have that pain, that pain, that pain. And like you used your tinnitus to your advantage. How can we create a space? And I'm saying we because I'm here to be of help, but how can you create a space where your spine, all the injuries, all the discomfort, all the procedures, what is your spine telling you? Like, what's the story? And I don't expect an answer now, but do you journal at all?
I do.
Okay.
I've done that for years. I just started getting more into it, and I also been journaling my dreams because I have very, very defined, vivid dreams. And I've always thought it's just so cool because I can wake up and I'll go, "Damn, where'd that come from?"
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I do that. But I can tell you this: when I'm high, I'm in the upper stratosphere. But when I'm low, I'm low. And I don't like being like that. And I've that's why my daughter said you need to go see somebody and talk and and I feel like basically it's just me going there and talking. But
Okay.
but I feel I don't know there's so much more. I mean, like when I go to bed at night, I put on Christian podcasts. And like if I want to just, I'll put, Daniel Bible to sleep and I'll listen to it. If I want to, if I want to hear anything, Esther, I'll put Esther Bible to sleep and I'll just cut it down low. And sometimes I'll listen to a lot. Sometimes I'll be asleep so quick. But my problem is my body wakes me up a lot. So it says turn, 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 and then I fight headaches. I used to have really bad migraines because of trauma I've had, and I do Botox every 12 weeks where they hit it
Wow.
here, they
Mm-hmm.
do above my eyebrows here, here, down my neck here. I broke my jaw when I was real young, so I do this, and they hit me, and the lady at UVA would say, she'd give me the first one above my eyebrow, and she goes, "You want me to stop?" I said, "No, you got 30 more to go. Get it done." And now the new one that I have in the Carolinas, he'll be talking to me, and internally I'm going, "Ouch, ouch, ouch." But at least but I mean, it's, and the doctors are talking about, finding this so-called sweet spot in my lower back to, maybe start doing Botox down there. But I'd really like to do it if I could do. I didn't look at your site a lot, but I do want to talk to you about, like, homeopathic, naturopathic, the things that I just had a very healthy smoothie this morning. And then when I want something sweet, I do plain yogurt, plain Greek yogurt with chia seeds and cinnamon and then a teeny bit of granola and then blueberries, and stuff like that. And if I can, from your site, start buying things too that just because I'm always seeing new things. And I'm like, if I can get myself on a regimen that I'm just the creatine, the protein drinks, the stuff I do all those. But I mean, and I tell my doctor I'm not competing with nobody. I'm competing with Richard Pennington. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just doing it for Richard only. I don't care about no competition, but I just want to make sure that, I want to feel good. And I don't believe that the way to feeling good is just keep on going and they give you more medicine
Right.
because I'm
Right.
sick of it. I'm sick of taking medicine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, couple things. We're going to go over some of the results of your scan. The results from your scan is probably about 3 hours worth of information. We're going to cut it down. I have a report that I can email you. Um, the infoceuticals are really remarkable. They're backed by science. They are minerals that are infused with information that is information that your body, your energy body, like there's this, people call it the aura, but it's been
Laura,
measured and there's information here. And that's what we got with your voice scan. And so we'll go over that. I just want to get a couple things out of the way. Have you done any tapping, emotional freedom technique, EFT? Have you ever done
no,
that? Okay, I think
I've
that's
never,
okay.
no, I never have.
Oh, okay. That I think is be really, really helpful because that gets into the subconscious. Do you do any work on your fascia? The skin? No?
I
Okay.
Well, I do. I mean, I watch things online, and um I do exercises like this. I watch things on, so I'll be doing this. I'll do, like I do the vibration plate,
Hmm.
and I do 10 minutes a day, sometimes 20 minutes a day, and I know it's good for your lymphatic system.
Yep.
And I'm constantly doing like it's so funny because it has me doing things on my nose, with my chin,
What about
and I'll
your
sit there.
back?
I all I can really do, like right now, you can't tell, but I have a compression suit on from here all the way down to here. And I mean, of course, you can't see it, but it goes all the way down to here up
Oh
to
wow.
here
Okay.
because my lower back is hurting so bad, so
Okay.
it's a compression. And I got to go to the dentist today. I'm hoping I don't get too hot when I'm in the dentist because it's tight.
Yeah,
But I'm like, oh my God. So,
at
but
work.
I, but I do like I'll stand there in place and I'll do this. I do the exercises. I do, swinging back and forth
Hmm.
because I want to keep my body in motion all the time.
Right. Always
And
moving. And
and
don't,
I've
yeah.
been doing exercises for years, but I want to learn more from you too.
Okay. Okay. Qigong, that's definitely something that has been very, very helpful for back, for issues. I'm just going to show you one right now. It's an exercise. It's you just take your fingers and you know the webbing here, you just do this. And what that does is it goes right information to your spine. That's something you can do however long you want, sides of your hands like this.
Uh-huh.
You can have the recording. This relieves stress. This also is for the back. And you can do it anytime, anywhere. I do it every morning when my coffee's making. And that's really helpful.
Yes.
But we're gonna get into, I'm gonna share my screen in a minute. So I'm gonna teach you
Hey,
the
Ron, I don't
exercise.
want to. Okay, let me enlarge this.
Okay.
My screen is saying my internet's been acting up, but right now I still got you, so I hope it doesn't go out. Please don't go out.
Okay. If it starts to go funky, you can turn your video off. Let's see where preview. Why is it Safari Energy for Life? Here we go. I think this is the right one. All right, let's see if this is the right one. Yep, there we go. Can you see that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is your scan. And what you'll see here, you'll see greens, you'll see gray, you'll see purple, orange, yellow. So the way that the scan measures things is purple is the biggest priority, and orange a little bit less, but still a priority. Yellows are for information, greens we really don't worry about, and grays we don't worry about. So this is not a medical um, diagnosis at all. This is just information that your energetic body, and if you had read on the site, you could see it's the information that we're getting. So we go here to movement, and movement, it can mean, so it's something's out of balance. It either can mean too little or too much. And it seems like you are very much aware of this. Rebounding probably isn't, the vibration plate doesn't bother your back.
Uh, no, it's. I guess it has some other ones that are more intense, but
Mm-hmm.
because I figured I would try that after I had this last issue,
All right.
and so I don't know. I mean, if it's doing some more harm than good, then I won't do it then.
No, I'm just what, no, you would notice right away because I have one and
Right.
it just didn't, it seemed like it didn't work, but bouncing a lot, so rebounding. Qigong, we have a way of bouncing that's it's very gentle. So, and I'm having a class with the Heart Coherence Collaborative August 1st. So I'm going to invite you to that. So
Okay.
movement, we're going to spend a lot of time on everything. Oxygenation. Um, it seems you do breathing, but maybe doing more breathing with awareness, deep breathing, and you're going to get all of this information. So
Okay.
it seems like you go outdoors. Getting to the beach is great because you get all those negative ions. Indoor plants help to oxygenate your
I have a lot of
okay,
plants in my
okay, me
house.
too.
I love them. That's my therapy.
Yes, nighttime. So disturbed sleep. You mentioned that, and that's coming up. And it's your body waking you up because of all the trauma you've been through. And I think night infoceutical was one of the recommendations for you. We'll get to that. And then polarity. Polarity is getting out. Um, it's the electromagnetic field, right, for optimal health. And this comes up in a lot of people. It's our because our modern lives are kind of out of balance with nature. Um, So polarity field's been bioenergetically matched to stem cells in the red marrow of the bones, which is a strong link to immune function. Grounding, you do your grounding, that's great. I don't think you can overdo grounding, so that's not the issue. It could be that um, your body just might need more. Here's some things you could do: EMF, grounding, keeping hydrated. Um, your water. We can talk about what uh, we can mention now. What kind of water do you drink?
Um, I drink I drink tap, but I just got one of those um was it ionizing or something? You pour the water inside it
Mm-hmm.
and then let it bubbles for a little while.
You have a it makes hydrogen
Yes,
water?
yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yep, I have that. That's great. Hydrogen water. I'm also going to recommend don't drink your tap water. Get yourself some spring water
Okay.
or a good water filter. Because there's just too much going on with tap water besides so that's one thing I think will help a lot. And we're going to go over here to the energy strength. So you can
Okay.
see we've got oranges. Oh, we got one. Okay, so the heart came up, and we're looking at how the energy is being driven through the heart. Um, Structure influences energy. In nature, we know the cavities, empty spaces surrounded by solid structures collect, store, and amplify and tune energy. So think about how the shape of a musical instrument influences the sound it makes, right? The human body is the same thing. Um, so the heart was coming up. Where is it? Heart. Let's get to heart. The beating of the heart. I've heard this taught that our hearts are our rhythm, like the earth has a rhythm. Instruments we play with rhythm. So is our heart. Our heart is our own specific rhythm. Um, And love your heart is an action you can take. And where am I lacking in joy and enthusiasm? And that could be like everyday life because of the pain kind of stealing that presence from you. It's competing for your attention, the pain. So, and this is a hard one, but if you can love and appreciate the pain and get really familiar with the pain, which I'm sure you are, but maybe before you go to sleep and your dreams just saying, you know, reveal to me what I need to know. What is going on? Because it could be ancestral, it could be from childhood, it could be beliefs that you're holding. So, and also love your heart, right? Where am I lacking in love and enthusiasm? Nourish your heart. It seems that you're taking care of yourself really well. Deep breathing. But here's a big thing. Take a look at self-limiting beliefs and emotional issues that show as priorities in your scan. So we're going to get there. Um, What else? We have stomach. The whole digestive system is coming up as a priority. Um, Warming foods. Sometimes we think, the modern thing is like eat as many organic raw foods as you can. But if you look at traditional Chinese medicine, a lot of times is to certain foods need to be cooked to release the energy that you need. So, you know, kind of looking into that, like, maybe you're eating too much raw, maybe it's not balanced enough. So, but again, there's no right or wrong. There's no one specific diet. It's what's right for Rich. Um, so,
I can tell you this. I started drinking Rise, the mushroom coffee,
uh-huh.
and I would say at times I've had like a nervous stomach because of the medicine I take.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been drinking the Rise mushroom coffee, and then I'm always doing things to make sure that I do eat healthy. But like the day I was thinking when I drove back from Spruce Pine, I had like two kiwis and three Fuji apples, and sometimes I might be overdoing it when I'm trying to eat all the healthy stuff, but I don't want to. I want to make sure I got a good balance there as well, so I'm not doing more harm than good. Taking the milk thistle for your liver enzymes and
Right.
stuff like that, and the chia seeds and cinnamon, and then the cider vinegar, the cherry tart to add to my smoothies, and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I'm with you. I have I have one cabinet and another drawer just full of supplements, and sometimes you need to take a break from them. Um,
yeah, I might be doing two. Yeah, I'm glad you're talking about that because I just want to make sure I'm doing all the right things, and maybe I might overdo it.
yeah,
And doctors know me; they go, Rich, we tell you to do this exercise, do it. Don't. If we tell you to do three sets of 10, don't do five
right.
sets of 80. Yeah, I'm bad about that. So I'm
Exactly.
learning. I'm learning.
Okay. So, let's see what's on here. We're going to go here right to your recommendations. What do we have? All right. So stomach, large intestine. So that is, so one of the infoceuticals that was recommended for you was the stomach driver infoceutical. That's right. It helps to energize all the aspects of digestion, absorption, and elimination. Because a lot of times we can be taking all these things, but because our digestion is compromised, we're not absorbing them. So the nice thing about these infoceuticals, and if you are interested in taking them, I'm going to recommend that if you start, you do 3 sets. Do it for at least 3 months because they're not a quick fix. There's this thing called body debt. Um, you're 66 years old. For 66 years, things have been accumulating, and by taking something for a day, for a week, for a month, you can't expect to unwind all of that. So sticking with these, if you start them, stick with them for at least 3 months. What else showed up? Skin, energy, strength.
I
I
drink the
like,
liquid collagen every single day, and
okay.
I do the SIA. You know,
You take a ASEA?
oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do, and I've been taking. I haven't taken them this morning. I just forgot to. But I mean, if I miss it, like later on, I'll do like 6 ounces.
Okay. I do 10 ounces a day. So
Yeah, okay.
I've been doing, and I've been taking the ASEA for over 10 years. So that's good.
I'm starting to
I was
keep.
gonna ask you if you take that. So I would, um, yeah,
Do you do
definitely.
it one time during the day, or do you take?
No, I wake up in the morning, I do 6 ounces, and then I can't take it too late because it gives me energy. I
Mhm.
take it around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I do another 4, or
Okay.
sometimes I do another 6.
Yeah.
Um, I also spray the ASEA in my eyes, on my skin, and I spray it before I do this exercise so that my skin moves. but that's good. Do you use the Renew 28 or the
I
gold?
do.
And what about the gold? Have you tried the gold?
I have, and it didn't give me, it just didn't give me
Yeah,
relief.
me either.
And then you can see right here, see the Renew Advanced.
Yeah.
I haven't put it on my face yet, so
Yeah, I love that stuff.
I do too.
Because that's just super concentrated. Yeah, but I have to say the Redox Gold I it was a silly thing. I wasn't paying attention. I was watching my grandkids and they have a mesh gate between the hallway and the living room to keep the big dogs out because the dogs go in, they eat the toys, they eat their food, whatever. So I'm going over the gate and I've gone over that gate 1,000 times. And because the kids would like crawl, like the top of it was kind of like loose. My As I'm going over, my foot got caught in it and
Mhm.
I face plant, broke my nose.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was. And the kids are like, Ray, Ray. But the Renew 28, I kept putting that on. That was a lifesaver. So it works for some things and some things not. But
Exactly.
for trauma like that, it worked really, really well.
Amen.
But I digress. So questions. I'm going over this quickly because there's just so much. I don't think Skin Driver. I should probably write down what your recommendations are. All right, polarity, night source, large intestine. So that wasn't. So what this software does is it picks the five most important infoceuticals for you on your healing journey. Um, so skin wasn't one of them, but doesn't mean that you can't take a look and see what things you can do. Skin brushing, so sauna, nutrients can be absorbed through the skin, magnesium, healing the gut, breathing exercises. Maybe we can explore, you know, other breathing exercises. And then an additional result, these are stars. Stars are things that are an infoceutical with a lot of different information in it, not just one.
Wow.
Um, so communication between the male endocrine glands and source driver. So, did that come up?
What do you think is the best thing for your skin? Because I know it's our largest organ. And I know, when I was much younger, I hardly ever used suntan lotion because I would tan so well. I always had a very good complexion, didn't really have acne and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting older. I'm seeing some spots, and I'm always, buying some things and thinking that will be the answer to make sure because I try to, not every day, but I try to put lotion on from head to toe when I get out of the shower.
Right.
Um, don't always do it, but have you found some things that you think are really good, for your,
The one that I make.
let me cut this off.
The one that I make is has got probably about 12 different products in it. But shea butter is really good, cocoa butter, coconut oil. Probably I would say, but some people don't like the oiliness. I like it. I like the thickness and the oiliness of it. Um, there's a company called Alba Botanicas. They make I think it's called Hawaiian Detox Lotion,
Mhm.
which I think is very good. Doesn't have any junk in it. So if you prefer a lotion, and then I make my own sunscreen. Not that I like to wear sunscreen, but for my face and stuff, where I put what is that stuff called? The zinc oxide in the
Mhm.
lotion. So I'm just gonna show you what my lotion looks like. It's labor intensive to make, but that's, can you see it? Ooh, where's the thing? So it's green because I put some methylene blue in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because methylene blue, like some people take it. I don't like the idea of taking it, but putting it on my skin, I think is good. But I think all the antioxidants in the different oils are what will help. And the Renew 28 is really good for spots, so if you get out, that's not a lotion. It's good for, it's therapeutic for the skin.
Right.
And so if I do head to toe that, and then I'll wait like 10, 15 minutes and then put on lotion. Um,
I gotta start doing that because I did take the methylene blue for about probably 2 or 3 months in the
mhm,
gummies,
yeah.
and I didn't really, I've never thought about it in the lotion, but I just did that because I saw an interview with Joe Rogan and somebody else, so I did that. But I've always wanted to because I'm using that soap is called Stem and Soul, I think it is.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's called that, but it's also for, I don't have a whole bunch of dark spots, but I do have some like on here.
Right.
And I've tried the Renew 28 for years, and I've just never got a result. And I've also tried the Renew Advanced, and it just didn't do much.
Didn't do anything with the spots.
No, it didn't.
Um, what else? I mean, I have a couple, but I don't have any on my hands, thank God. I don't know why, but I don't. There was a problem getting help file. What's that? Okay. So let's continue on here.
Mhm.
This is energy flow. And this we're gonna, and your priority was the large intestine, and that's one of the infoceuticals that was recommended. And you can see all of this is your nerve plexus field right here. Is
Mhm.
that your atlas, right? There we go.
Okay.
And then this is the rear. So the rear motor neurons field. Go back to the front. And then the heart, the neurotransmitters. Right, here we go. And
Let's
you
see if
can
I can get rid of this
see,
glare.
oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna release this to you. So you're gonna be able to look into this yourself.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not gonna release all of these. Like you can see, like we can get to life journey. Like there's so much. Your
Right.
life journey, your life purse, engage with passion. That's something that came up as a priority. So you can see there's an awful lot, and it goes into unconscious patterns, right? We've got it's innocent perpetrator. What does that mean? Unconscious patterns. Um, so there's a lot of information. I'm going to let you look through the first few. So you're going to get energy source, strength, energy flow, mind, body, and the recommendations. If once you look at once you look through that, if you want more, then I'll open up the rest of them.
Sure.
Um, but for right now, I think it's just so much information that it'll bog you down. So you can see here infoceuticals, um, polarity, night, source, large intestine, and stomach were recommended. I also like, especially when someone's starting out, there's one called ESR that is for kind of tampering down the severity of things that you might be going through emotionally.
Hmm.
There's another one called Liberator that you take at night. I'm gonna hold off on that for now, but that helps to get to all those unconscious patterns. But if what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a couple of options of what you may want to work with. Um,
Okay.
as far as, do you want to try the infoceuticals for 3 months? You know, we can set up something so that twice a month we get on a call, we go over everything. You can do a scan once a month and see what's going on. A lot of times you'll see the same things. Sometimes you'll see different things show up as priorities, but usually not. Um, this My Health, this is what this is. This is a My Health. This is something that's a, a very incredible tool. It's not inexpensive. It is scalar, scalar, PEMF. You can see it's got electrodes on here to do on body. It would be difficult for you being able to do your back with something like this, but if you're wondering what this My Health functions are, you can see what, the cervical spine, heart, skin, bronchial mucosa, the restore matrix, microtubules. These are stuff that we would, if we were close, I would be able to do some therapy with this.
Hmm.
Um, there's also an off body. Let me show you. Let's see, are we still on? And it turned itself off. Why don't you turn yourself off?
Because I'll just mention this, like right now, I have my spinal cord implant. I have it up higher,
Mm-hmm.
so I can feel it, vibrating to my toes, and I can feel it vibrating to my fingertips.
Wow.
And the problem is it doesn't really take care of the thoracic, which right now my lumbar is hurting a lot. My thoracic hurts, and then of course my cervical does. But Boston Scientific hasn't perfected that, so maybe it's psychosomatic for me to. I can have it on silent run, or I can have it on where I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And it all depends on the way I move because it affects the way the leads are laid out in my spine. So like if I turn a certain way, it's like a resonant frequency. It's vibrating really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping I just keep on saying this that through you and also through like Elon Musk with Neuralink,
Yeah.
I hope they find some breakthroughs because Boston Scientific has been very candid with me, telling me what they feel like works and what doesn't work. And that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay.
So I don't like it. I mean, but I use it for this reason, but I guess the reason because I got a battery pack implanted in my butt, and I got leads from here. I went in for the MRI of the day and I said, "Is everything cool?" She goes, "Everything's fine." I got there at 7:15 in the morning, drove 45 minutes. And then I walk up to her and I go out to the mobile unit and I say, "Here's my remote, and I've already got it in MRI mode." And she goes, "Oh, you have an implant." I went, "Oh crap, here we go again. We can't do your MRI until we do X-rays to make sure that your battery, I mean your unit hasn't been moved, and we got to make sure that your leads are where they're supposed to be, and there's no break in them." So I got to wait around for that, 6 X-rays, and then they go, "We're booked today, but if you come back during my lunch break, I'll do it for you at 1 o'clock." So I had to leave, drive 45 minutes home, then go back there again. So if I have my druthers, I'd say take it out. But what they
Mm-hmm.
want to do is they want to go in there and take this out and put in the pump that's got the narcotics. And I said, no. I said, because I'm in the financial world and I speak to clients about moving their 401ks and stuff like that. And I can't have a buzz when I'm doing that.
All right.
And he said, well, they perfected it now that they diffuse it right into your spinal column, and it'll help your body, but it will not affect your mental capacity when you're synapting and it's going down the ganglia and all that stuff.
Huh.
So I said that would be a conversation for a much, much later date. But I just, my son said the other day, he goes, "Dad," he goes, "it's so," he calls me Pops. He goes, "It would be so," he goes, "It's so weird." He said, "Because I look at you, Dad, and you look like you're in such great health. And I say, and I always jokingly say, I wish I felt as good as I look. But he said it's so weird to see you use a cane now because he's seen me use a cane, and
Mm-hmm.
I used a walker for 2 years. I used a cane for three when I was going through all my surgeries and all the problems I was having. But I just want to get a much better way of life, and also dealing with um, when I'm here by myself, and I'm by myself a lot, and I'm I think I'm really cool. How do I say this? Have you ever heard of Myers-Briggs before?
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. So I used to teach that for the state of North Carolina, and I was an ESTJ, extroverted, subjective, a thinker, and judgmental. But I learned in time that I'm a really good introvert, but I hide it very well. And so it's I live and
Yeah.
learn stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I'm by myself a lot, and I'm totally cool with that.
I feel
Uh,
yeah, I'm that
but
way too. Yeah. It's I live in a community. It's I got my cat. My grandkids are about 10 minutes away. And I'm fine. It's kind of like I treat it like a monastery. Spend my time learning things, growing, and I love that you are like open to so much, and the things that I I believe would be really helpful for you to explore
hmm
is tapping. I have a script that was prepared for you. Um,
Okay.
And then Dr. Joe, I know you mentioned the pineal gland. You were interested in that. I've
hmm
studied with Dr. Joe for, I'm trying to think, 7 years. Been to 5 of his events. I don't, have
hmm
you done any of his meditations? Dr. Joe
No,
Dispenza?
yeah, I've never done that.
Okay, because there
Um,
are people that stage 4 cancer and they were in hospice, they were in a wheelchair. I've seen people get out of their wheelchairs and walk. Because there's something supernatural that is available to us. And the pineal gland is key to that. And he teaches a breath, it's a Kundalini breath, where he teaches about the 7 energy centers and just taking the energy from the root and with breath and squeezing different muscles, taking the energy from the spine all the way up to the pineal gland and kind of activating it because there's crystals in the pineal gland that act like an antenna. Um, and also,
I forgot what was it called? The DMT? Is that what's inside the pineal
yeah,
gland?
hmm
Wait,
yeah, there's
you
all
have something?
kinds.
Yeah,
There's so many different, yeah, but that's one of them that where people have, that's why they have visions and I and also being really mindful of the words that you use and that you think. Words to me are very, very powerful, and our thoughts become things. And when we focus on, well, this happened to me and that happened to me and this and that and the other thing, what about changing it to happen for me? Because we are
right.
here in this earth school. We didn't come here to be on vacation. We came here to
Yeah, I
to
like that.
expand and to grow. And I look at myself, I'm like, I'm 69. I'm getting older. The body doesn't work the way that it used to work. I've got different things going on. Can I come beyond that, get beyond the physical, beyond the mental? Can I
hmm
integrate and connect with that, with the soul in a more conscious way? Because we're always connected to the soul. We can't disconnect from the soul. That's why we're here.
Right.
It's like we're this big, huge entity, and we've got like a little finger like in the top of our head, and that's what we are. But this is just a little small part of the enormity of who we truly are and what is our soul's purpose. And as you journal, maybe I can give you some prompts like what is my soul's journey? What are these accidents, these traumas, this whatever, everything that's going on with my spine and with my body, what is it communicating to me? What is the soul's purpose for this? Is it to tap into this greater resource and despite what I'm experiencing, still live a life in joy, to find a
Well, that
way,
should be.
you know?
I'll tell you this, that when I had the accident, and I went to the ambulance, and by the ambulance, and I had CT scans from my head, my mid, and my lower. And I had a great ministry that day. I met with a lot of, I'm 66, so I guess I'm a senior citizen now too. But it's so funny because I think of older people as being senior citizens. So, and I was witness to them, and I just had. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and then through going to back to my Emerge Ortho and speaking to his people, and I just had the greatest fellowship with them. And I was telling my friends and my friend Kelly in Wilmington, I said, uh, I don't understand right now, but I said and I believe so strongly now that there's a reason for everything, and I think that it rains on the just and the unjust.
Hmm.
And she sent me something this morning that said, it's called synchronicity. Explain this will change everything about your reality. Nothing happens by accident. And I love podcasts and stuff like that because I think about stuff and I'm going, have I had some good pity parties too? But you know what? I don't have them because I'm just thinking, okay, there's got to be a reason for it, and I think of just so many people, going back to before Jesus' time, but after, and just all these things. I'm going, okay, well, you had a malady, you had an illness, you did this, you did that, and I'm thinking everybody had an issue, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's that constant, Jacob with that messed up hip or something, or like, okay, that's just I just left that there to remind you that there's something much more than what you think you are.
Yes.
And I'm always thinking of that because maybe not when I was younger, but as I'm older, I want to have much more of a servant's heart, and I always want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. And because I think it's important, and maybe I'll just say this. It was seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. I was like, Lord, I'm busy right now, but if I need you, I'll call you. So,
Yep.
so, and now I'm going. I'm thinking, what? Because you know, I had a meeting like a dinner engagement with Kelly about a month ago, and we're talking. And I mentioned that, I had a big financial practice. I had a 4,000 square foot house. I had the newest, sports cars and this and that. And then I started losing it because I broke my neck one time, broke it a second time, then it got rear-ended, and then my business faltered because I wasn't there. And I was the guy that always had a ton of reserve and this and that, and I lost about everything I had, and I'm building it back now, it's not even important to me like it was back then. I wasn't, so materialistic and stuff, but I realize now that, Rich, you got your health. It's not perfect, but I got my health. I've got a good mindset. I got people that love me. When those are all the things that I count as everyday blessings. Wake
Oh,
up, I'm
yeah.
going. I got a lot of reasons to be thankful for. So
Yep.
that's and I think it's up to you because I have friends that are just going downhill health wise and everything, and I'm going. It's all about the mental, physical, and spiritual. It's all about that,
Hmm.
and
Oh, so
you got
true.
to have a balance there.
So true. So many people look outside, look this way, and they look at what's going on and they're like, "Oh, I'm 65 now. It's time, like people that when they're looking they're looking to downsize, they want to move and they want a place with no stairs. I'm like, "No, don't do that." I mean, my mom, she had stairs. She wanted if she had downstairs, upstairs, she had to go up and down the stairs to go use the bathroom, you know?
Hmm.
And I think that's what kept her alive, to tell you the truth, is stairs. So like that's just one example. Like there's this expectation built up that you have to be on medications and you're and decline. I mean, I see things changing in my body and but it's about what do we allow mentally? Can we keep that inner child playful
Hmm.
and happy and being grateful? And like when you take a shower, or when you go, like I'm doing this one practice that is really, it's kind of like it's an offshoot of Qigong. it's a Shaolin practice called, I can't pronounce it right, Zhuangzhan. And what it
Hmm.
is getting into a position which is like back to the universe, Wuji, and then staying there without moving. I'm up to like 12 minutes. I think I could do longer, but while standing there, eyes focused in the distance, you every single part of your body you acknowledge. You bring your awareness to. You start in the scalp, and then the hair, the skin, the cranium, the brain, the fluids, the pineal. They like so it's like every little thing. So it takes all that time if you once you really start to be aware of every single part of your body. And as I do it, I'm just saying thank you. Thank you. Thank you for my eyelashes. you know, Thank you for my taste buds. Thank
Hmm.
you for the skin, and I have pulsatile tinnitus in one ear. And I'm like, what are you teaching me? And it's like to listen better. I know that that's for me to listen better. Um, the heart, the blood, the bone marrow, like every little thing, and you just do it from head to toe. And I find it very, very strengthening. If it's something you want to try, like try just, like 2 minutes to begin with. Um,
Hmm.
but it's getting into, your feet shoulder width apart, your arms out to your side, fingers apart, your knees slightly bent, your chin pulled in, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And doing this, it's quite remarkable. That's something. Oh, and then EFT. I want to show you. I'm going to send you a script. And
Okay.
we can do one. We're going to do one right now. I think I'm going to read the script because it's a really good script. Let's see. Where is
I've
it?
done the thing where you've talked about your hair and your follicles and your skin and your eyes, but they say that's a good way to help get you to go to sleep. They said that during World War II, World War One, they would tell them to start focus on that because it would distract them. And
Hmm.
by the time they got down to like the chin, they'd be asleep or something. But I was like, but I like what you're saying too.
Yeah, it's very cool. Let me see if I can get. So I'm going to get. What is this? Not what I want. Here, this is what I want. Why won't it let me? Okay. Trying to do half and half. It's not letting me. Let me see. Don't put that down. I'm getting there. Getting there. Getting there. Getting there. What happens when you have too many things open? Let's go. Ah, there we go.
While you're open that, I'm gonna go check my front door because I think that I got some feral cats. I'm gonna see
Okay.
what they did because my kids are trying to get me some cats. I'll be right back. Like when I've been sitting down a long time, standing up is just, oh,
No.
I get better at that.
Okay. So I'm going to show you the different parts that we're going to do.
Okay.
So it's the first one's a karate chop point, and you take your fingers and you just kind of hit there. So we're going to do that. And it's called a setup. We're going to do a setup. And then from there, we're going to take two or three fingers and well, let's just do one. And you tap eyebrow right here. Then we're going to do the side of the eye. Then we're going to do under the eye. So I'm just showing you the points, and then we're going to do this and then right under the nose, right? And then right the chin, right in that little divot. And then you can do your collarbone, like there's a little like indentation there, like right around there. So you're just going to tap there
Uh-huh.
and you'll
Hmm.
feel it. And then under the arm, like down a couple of inches, and then the top of the head. And those are the points. And I'm going to say
Okay.
them as we go. but this is going to be the setup. And so get this going. Even though my lower back is in so much pain, and you can think this to yourself as I'm
So much.
saying that
Okay.
after these accidents, and I lived with spinal issues for a long time, I deeply and completely accept myself as I am right now. Even though it feels like my body has taken a beating, the fusions, the implant, the fall, the car crash, I'm open to the possibility that my system can find some peace and relief. Even though part of me still feels shocked and unsafe after everything that's happened, I honor how hard my body has been working to protect me. Now we're going to go to the top of the eyebrow. This intense lower back pain and upper back pain, the back pain everywhere. I don't think it's just lower. Side of the eye. All this, go to the side of the eye. All this tension my body is holding. Under the eye. My spine has been through so much. Under the nose. All the surgeries, the fusions, all the interventions. Under the chin. And then one more trauma and more trauma with the fall and the car accident. Collarbone. My nervous system is on guard all the time. Side of the body, under the armpit. It doesn't feel safe to relax. Top of the head. My body is trying so hard to protect me. Eyebrow. Part of me still feels that shock. Side of the eye. That moment of impact. Under the eye. The fear in my body. Under the nose. The sense that my safety was invaded. Chin. This feeling of danger in my system. Collarbone. All this burden I've been carrying for years. Under the arm. It's exhausting to live with this much pain. Top of the head. And I acknowledge just how hard this has been. Eyebrow. Even with all this pain, maybe my body can soften just a little. Side of the eye. Maybe I don't have to brace quite so hard right now. Under the eye. Maybe my nervous system can lower its guard a notch. Under the nose. I give my body permission to feel a bit safer in this moment. Chin. I survived those accidents. Collarbone. Right now, in this room, I am safe enough. Under the arm. My spine is allowed to release a little of this tightness. Top of head. My back doesn't have to do all the work alone. Eyebrow. Maybe my system can remember how to rest and repair. Side of the eye. Letting go of a bit of the shock from my body. Under the eye. Letting go of some of this stored fear and tension. Under the nose. My body has done an amazing job keeping me going. Chin. I appreciate how much my spine and nerves have carried. Collarbone. I'm open to the idea of easier movement, even if it's small. Under the arm. I'm open to feeling a little more supported. Top of the head. I'm open to the possibility of more comfort in my back. We've got one more round, but let's just pause. Nice deep breath. Just letting go. Letting it go. All right, back to the eyebrow. I've already been through so much and I'm still here. Side of the eye. There is strength in me, even when I feel worn down. Under the eye. I allow my body field to reorganize in a kinder way. Under the nose. I give my spine permission to receive support. Chin. I don't have to carry all this burden alone. Collarbone. I can ask for help and accept help. Under the arm. I choose to be gentle with myself and my body. Top of head. I invite a calm, safe signal into my nervous system now. Okay, close your eyes again. Just tune in with your body, allowing that peace, feeling of being safe, secure, and cared for. How do you feel?
I feel much more relaxed. I've, I've I haven't really been taking the time to do things like this, and it's peaceful and calming. And I think whenever I do it the most is when I'm laying there in bed,
Mm-hmm.
but I need to be present more, like when I'm in the living room or just sitting somewhere outside and just taking time because I haven't been doing that.
Okay, that's fine.
My mind's always racing. What I got to do next.
Mm-hmm. Do you meditate?
No, that's why I've been thinking I need to start doing.
You
I
need
need
to
to.
meditate.
I need to. I feel like I'm always going through a sensory overload all the time, and I
Okay.
need to slow it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, on my YouTube, I've got a million gazillion meditations. I'm gonna send you like a little package. So you're gonna get a copy of this script. I'm gonna send you this recording. I'm gonna open up the scan so that you can look at it more deeply, because again, there's so much information. Um, and if you want to, and I'll set up you, I'll also send you some plans that, that you can or cannot do if you want to work with me or not.
Yeah,
So, and you can get back to me what you think will work for you. But,
appreciate
so
that.
I'm just thinking, morning and evening routines are really important. Give yourself reminders, cues, like every time you walk through a door, to take a breath and be present. Every time you stop at a red light, every time you pick up the phone, there's a million little cues that you can remind. You can even set a timer on your phone, like this is take 60 seconds to just be present and to breathe and to connect with my heart, to smile.
Yeah.
I know this is a big one. I'm like, when you walk by the mirror and you're like, wait a minute, I'm feeling happy, but I need to inform my face, right? You got to smile.
Yeah.
Um, so this tapping, the emotional freedom technique, Dr. Joe will send you one of his, I think he's got some free ones on YouTube to do. Your diet seems fine. I would just check in, like, it maybe take a break from some of your supplements. The reishi mushroom coffee that you're doing, you have to be really careful with mushrooms because there's so many companies out there. Make sure that it's a clean reishi, that it's because sometimes they have a lot of, can't think of what the word is, but things that cause inflammation rather than lessen inflammation. So just make sure it's a really good company. Your water is really important. Stop doing the tap water. Enjoy your hydrogen water. Do that 3 times a day. That's like really, really, really helpful because that
And
works.
I've been guilty of that. I bought it and I haven't been doing it much. And I'm thinking, Rich, why did you go through the motion of paying for it? And it's sitting
Mhm.
in there on my counter and it doesn't really take that much time to do it.
Yeah.
But maybe I gotta form a habit and just start doing it.
And don't beat yourself up if you forget. It's just and sometimes take a break from that too, you know. Um, your journaling is good. You're getting counseling. I think that's great. And I'm happy to help. And I hope, is there any questions you have? Anything that we didn't cover?
No, I think you've covered a lot, and because I know that we take this forward. I know that you're going to share with me packages that I can buy and stuff like that because I know you can't afford to work for free just like I can't. So I want to take a look at those, and also I I'm excited about this because this is a there's so many things I'm doing for my lifestyle, and it's really funny because people will see posts and stuff like that, and the thing is, they never know what's going on but behind the picture and the smile, and I, when I put that down the last 3 weekends, I've stayed in my recliner and stayed in my bed because I just don't feel good. So I want to get that, but also I want to start getting it out to my daughter has been in high stress things as a BSRN, and now she's in labor and delivery. That can be stressful too. My son is getting settled into going through a bad breakup, but I mean things I can help them on as well, and also my friends because um I don't know. This is part of my journey now, and I don't think it is because people are saying it's a final stretch. You're in the fourth quarter, and I understand that because I'm not like what Methuselah and Noah and everybody. We're going to live 6, 7, 800 years. I can't even comprehend, imagine that. But I do want to have a much better quality life, and I also want to be happy. Like you just said, when I walk through an archway, to think, hey, why did the Lord close that door to open that door for me right here? Why did he? And it's in me. I'm very introspective. I'm very cerebral. I like to read. I like to learn a lot. When as I get older, I want to learn a lot more. But I'm excited. I really am because
Good.
I'm going to listen to that podcast that she sent me on synchronicity and everything, and because she was talking about the pineal gland and then pineal gland, but months ago I read about it too, and then she was talking about. Do you remember the singer named Nightbird that was on America's Got Talent? Do you remember her?
Mhm. Yeah.
She was dying of cancer when I don't watch the show, but I happened to see it was on Facebook. But she was and she already had cancer in her brain, her lungs, and somewhere else. And she's speaking to Simon. Them. She says, "Well, you don't have to wait until everything's just perfect to be happy." And I went, Wow. And so Kelly's got a son who had a traumatic brain injury. And he's been in a vegetative state since 2020, and she takes care of him among other medical professionals 24/7. And I've met her. We're not boyfriend or girlfriend, but we talk every day. We instant message every morning, all during the day at nighttime. I like her a lot, but she's committed her life to taking care of her son. But we
Right.
talk about
Yeah.
things like this, and I go, I can't even comprehend to have your only son, your baby boy, that had congenital adrenal hyperplasia, and then he got a basic cold, and he wasn't taking his medicine because he was over 18, so she couldn't regulate it like she would before. And he had a that, and then he had a stroke, and then he had a major brain injury. And I think of it, sometimes I'm sitting here bitching and moaning about I can't move my neck or my lower back, and he's in a vegetative state, and I'm going, oh my gosh, so and I can't compare myself to that, but I mean,
Yeah.
I want to learn so much more, so I'm excited, and I'm so glad that we had time because I think that we first met each other through a SIA because whenever I'd see somebody keep on coming across my thing and it'd say a SIA, I'd send a friend request because we're SIA as a
Right.
family.
Yeah.
I'm meeting with Ed and Rebecca this Friday. Ed and
Okay.
Rebecca Weems, triple
Okay.
diamond
Mm-hmm.
ambassadors. They're good friends. I went to school with Rebecca, but and then I just started watching when I do, and I'm going, I really need to watch more Veronica. When I do, I go, God, I feel much better. I'm going, well, then do it, Rich. Do it.
Yeah,
So
you gotta follow the feelings sometimes. It's like, um, and and just it's all about remembering because we are these beautiful, like we're a little spark of the divine. It's what we are.
amen.
We're down here and we're all part of a collective and we have life. Honor that and love and you know I born again Christian. I mean, I was raised Catholic, born again Christian, whatever. Like I just believe that God is everywhere in everything, and that Jesus was just an enlightened master that came that just was aware of all the gifts because he says the things that I do and greater will you do. And what is that? That is to be aware that this world is our playground, that we have the ability to create the life that we choose. And guess what? Where we are right now, what we are experiencing is what we have created. So then we ask ourselves, why? I read this very interesting book, Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau.
And what was the name of it again?
Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau because I saw
Mm-hmm.
an interview on Gaia with this guy, and he's a
Mm-hmm.
fascinating guy. He seems arrogant, but I think it's not so much arrogance as he just is so confident in what he does, but that how powerful we are and how important it is the words that we use. And I've always believed this is because that's where you get the word spell from, right? How do you spell a word? And a spell is the words that we speak have frequency and vibration. And when we say things like, I hate this, I feel terrible, just start to be aware of the words that you think and say, especially about yourself. Like, my big thing is like I look at pictures, oh my gosh, I look so old. And then I'm like, no, I have to reframe this. And I always think of my grandson Reed, because as you get older, you lose muscle tone and all this kind of stuff. And he goes, Ray Ray, your skin is so soft. And I'm like, well, it's because there's no, lack of muscle tone, but okay, so I'm gonna take it. And then someone else told me, the wrinkles on our face are like rings on the tree, right? It's just from age and from wisdom
Oh,
and
I like that. I like that.
right. And just to believe what it is that God has said to us, right? And,
Hmm.
in Jesus, what I have come here that you might, okay, I always forget this. Hold on, I got to get it off my wall.
The life and life more abundantly. Yeah.
I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. John 10:10, right? I don't know if that's going to be out of focus. Is out
Oh,
of
I
focus,
love that.
right? I've had this everywhere I've lived
Yeah,
since.
and me and my glasses too. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
I'm
no,
still
no, no.
blind.
It won't get it absolutely will not get,
There you go. There you go.
yeah. So,
Modern technology.
but
And
but
I'm learning something new every day, and I really enjoy that. But I'm looking forward to it, and I don't have nothing till 2 o'clock today, where I'm going to my dentist, and I'm going to work in the office and get things. But I think of this. I'm paraphrasing. If you confess it with your mouth, so be it. And I've got to, because like if I'm having a woe is me, I got to quit doing that, because it doesn't do me no good. And I know that we're imbued with so many abilities to do so many great things, and I think I'm learning about
mhm.
so many things now. Um, who was I was telling somebody yesterday, I think it was, that I dreamed when I was younger that I was laying in bed and I was like thinking, 8 or 9 years old, and saying, Lord, I'm imbued with these powers, and let me levitate, and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, if we all were imbued with those powers right now, we'd probably kill everybody. Everybody would, like, I don't agree with you, you don't agree
Well,
with
you don't get
me,
the
this and
powers
that.
if
I'm
you
going,
feel
thank
that
God we
way.
don't have them.
Yeah. No, you don't get those
Exactly,
powers then.
exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that way. So, that we do have the powers because God spoke the world into existence. It was the word. In the beginning was the word, and the word was God, and the word was with God, and the word was God. It was the word. It's the sound, it's the vibration and humming. I don't know if you've ever heard of Jonathan Goldman. He's an amazing guy. He's been studying sound forever, but the easiest, most portable healing device you have is your throat, your mouth, and humming. Just humming, because it
I
has a
hum and I hum and sing all the time.
good.
And it's funny because it's interesting you said it, because I heard that recently, about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's like I'm always humming, I'm always singing, in the house, in the shower, in the car, Richard's in car karaoke. But I mean,
That's
it's
funny.
I think it's so therapeutic. When I tell you, I know you're busy. I got to tell you one more thing. I had a guy here the day, and he fixed my outside tap and replaced the faucet and stuff, but he had to get to the back of my wall shelf, and we had to move it out, and he had to cut through the sheetrock to fix the outside tap out there. And I had on Pandora, and I'm playing the 70s and 80s genre, when I was born in 60. And he just said, and he's the same age as my son. He's 37. My son will be 37 this year, and he goes, man, you got some really good tunes there. And he said, I don't even listen to the crap they play nowadays. I listen to the stuff that my parents. I said, well, that's one thing I wanted my kids to learn, is my genre. And I showed anywhere from southern rock, to some harder rock too, some R&B, the Motown, everything. And it made me feel so good, because, you know, um, I went to go see America a month ago with my son and daughter. Bought me tickets for my birthday back in March. We went and saw America, and it was just amazing.
That's great.
So
That's great. When's your birthday? March
it's
what?
so March 13th.
Okay, Pisces, fellow Pisces. Okay,
Oh yeah, when is yours?
February 20th.
I'll be darned. Isn't that cool?
Yeah,
Oh
yep.
my God.
So that explains a lot of the same. And you're born the same year as my brother. He was
Oh,
February 3rd.
really?
Yeah, my baby brother.
Oh, that is too cool.
Um,
That is too cool. Oh, wait. What was I going to tell you? Oh my gosh, I just had something I was going to tell you, and I just forgot.
you're talking
Um,
about music. You're talking about
I
America, the
Yeah,
concert.
music. I'm just going to say, it's like, when I would listen to you speak, and just when I first started kind of tying into some of your podcasts and everything, I always say I'm a good judge of character, and I just like um what do they say? You don't ever get a second chance at a first impression.
Hmm.
And that I think it's so important because I was like I was trying to think who I could reach out to help me get through all this stuff. And I was like, I need to reach out to Rhonda. And then I was thinking the correlation, I'm thinking, wait a minute. I'm thinking it was a Sia that we had became friends through.
Hmm.
And it's just it's so good because the Sia family I'm tied into, I'm not active. I'm not active like I was, years
Yeah, me
ago.
either. Yeah, I used to be very
Um,
active.
but I but I don't but I still I order the product and I get back about something like about $75 a month. So I look at it like this. My product is half of it's free anyway,
Right.
and then and I do get the packets, the red, the orange, blue, and the purple. I put inside my
You
in my
like those?
drinks.
I can't, they're too
And
sweet for
I've
me.
been
I
doing those
can't
for
drink
years.
them. Ooh,
Oh, really?
they're too,
I
I
can't do the
can't.
orange one. The orange one is it gets me too hyped up. I think
Mm,
it's for energy or something like that.
yeah.
But because when I do the tap, I mix that with that because I'm always trying to jazz my drink up some, and it just versus if I'm very thirsty and I need hydration, I can do it. But also I do electrolytes every day, the packets, from Costco, and I put one of those in there, so I drink one of those a day, and it says recommended one a day.
Hmm.
But yeah, but sometimes yeah, they are kind of
They're
sugary
too
sweet, aren't
sweet.
they?
I can't do them. There's too much stevia or something in them. But to make your own electrolytes, very simple. You take a pinch of sea salt and you
Uh-huh.
take, I don't know, maybe about 10 drops of fresh lemon juice in your
Uh-huh.
water, and it becomes, and I learned that from Gary Samuelson. You know,
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah, I went through his cellular coaching program. And that's like the biggest, most, you do that with your water and it tastes good because your body, there's a water channel that I didn't know that our bodies had water channels, and it doesn't go into your stomach, it goes into the water channels. Um, so that's something. But I would look at, write down everything if you want. If you want to move forward, just write down everything that you take, like everything. It's probably going to be like me, like a
Uh,
big long list,
my medicine's everything. Medicine's everything.
No, no, I don't know. Your medicines, that's between you and your doctor. Yeah, no,
Okay.
you don't have to
Well,
tell me
I don't
that.
take
But
I
I
don't
mean,
take
all your supplements, and I hope
okay.
your doctor knows of all the supplements that you take and make sure it doesn't interfere
Well,
with medications.
I need to do it. I need to do it better. I need to take those in and make sure there's no contraindications.
So, all right, yeah,
I don't take any narcotics because I refuse to. I
yeah,
just don't I
yeah.
don't do that.
You can
But
pop that into AI too. You can just put all your supplements in and then all your
I
medications
didn't
if
think
you
about
want.
that.
Yeah,
Well,
AI will tell you.
I'm getting off gabapentin. I've been taking gabapentin for probably 15 years. And I was speaking to my neurologist. I said, "When can I get off this crap?" And then they let me titrate it down, and now I no longer take it anymore.
Oh, good.
And if I hadn't asked, guess what? I'd have been taking them for the rest of my life.
Well, I was taking baby aspirin, and like, I don't know, maybe last year, my doctor's like, why are you taking the baby aspirin? I'm like, because you told me to. And then I was getting like heart palpitations and like my blood pressure was high and then it was low and it was high and low. So I'm like, I'm getting off of this. And don't you know, my blood pressure lowered and I don't get the heart palpitations anymore. And I even checked, researched, and like there's supposedly no correlation, but apparently there was a correlation. So I got off the baby aspirin and I feel much better.
That's smart. That's so smart.
Yeah, it's weird. Okay, so it's
Oh,
gonna take me a while to
okay.
put together a package. I'm gonna send you so it's gonna take me a little while to put everything in one email. I'll send you an email, and then we
Okay.
can touch base in a day or two, see how you want to proceed.
Sounds good. Hey, thanks so much. And it's nice meeting you finally.
Same here, Richard.
Have a
Take
blessed day,
care.
girl.
You too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.